I do want to get into, by the way, Keith Byers will join us tomorrow. And we will have Angelo on Thursday. And I believe Ray Didinger will be with us on Friday. So we'll have a bunch of people here. And before I get Garry on here, Myles Garrett to the Eagles. Like I told you earlier, they would want AJ in a fourth. Andrew Berry is going to probably receive about 15 to 20 calls on what the price tag is going to be for him. And Eagle fans, do me a favor. You don't trade an F-150 for a Ferrari. I know many of you want to put Bryce Huff in a trade for Myles Garrett. That's not going to get it done. And there's $79 million that you have to restructure to make that deal happen. I'm saying Washington's the top candidate because they have $100 million in cap space and 10 draft picks. That's where you don't want to see them land. All right. Super Bowl 59 in 7 days. Let's bring in Garry Cobb from Fox 29. And Garry, here we are, man. I mean, a lot of news right out of the gate. And Myles Garrett let the Browns know earlier today that he doesn't want to remain. His idea was to get to Canton, was not to go through Cleveland, but to get to Canton no matter how that looked. And coming out of New Orleans right now, the Commanders and the Eagles are some of the top candidates right now to land him. Do you think that's viable for the Eagles to land a guy like Myles Garrett?
Well, I think it's something that that they could do. Depends on how, it's going to be expensive. I imagine they probably want either young players or draft picks because they're going to try to rebuild what they're doing out there. So they want young players or draft picks. The Eagles have some outstanding young players, but I don't know how crazy they are about wanting to give them up. But I imagine there's some young players maybe they feel like they could find somebody else to step in there. So, but Myles Garrett, he's a player you build a whole defense around. I mean, he's a dominant player. He plays hard. He's not just a talented guy. He's a driven player who could be a leader on an outstanding team. So he is a guy that you would be interested in. And, he's a guy right away. He makes you better because they got to double team him and they're still not going to stop him. He's that type of player. Now, really, if you put him and Jalen Carter, come on. People are going to say, you know what? We can't find a flight for that game we're going to play, you guys. We're not coming out there.
They're going to get on the bus.
That's right. Or they're going to put in, they got a good quarterback. They said, look, you're going to take this one off this week. We're not sending our quarterback out there to have those guys going after him. So he is an outstanding player and everything, but it's something the Eagles would have to think about, because it probably would be expensive to get him. So
there's another conversation out there, and maybe you heard this, but there's word that if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, that Jeff Stoutland would consider retiring at 63 years of age. And I mean, you and I know there's coaches, Garry, that want to go until like a Supreme Court appointment. Like, you think they're going to coach forever. But some guys aren't built like that. Some guys want to, 2 Super Bowls, national championship at Alabama when he was there. I mean,
that's right. They want to enjoy their life some too. Yeah.
What do you make of that? I mean, is that something to keep an eye on with all the changes?
It would be a huge loss, but what can you do? I mean, you got to try to replace him. You're not going to be able to replace him with the same quality guy because the guy is a special offensive line coach. And I've been around some good ones, we had some good offensive line coaches when I was in college. Hudson Houck, who wound up going down there to
Dallas.
Yeah, he was the guy we had when I was at USC. We had a great offensive line. And
is that the guy who coached Anthony Munoz?
Oh, yeah. He was the guy on the offensive line. Oh, yeah.
Wow. And Bruce Matthews and all them guys?
Right. Hudson Houck, he was the one down there because we used to get into fights with them because with our defense and our offensive line, but that's what they wanted. They wanted a battle, and he was an outstanding offensive line coach. But I couldn't say enough about the way I see guys grow that play for him. Even the backups, he makes them. I mean, the guy comes out before the game, each game, and he works out all the guys, that are, let's say, whatever, the chances are they're not going to play or whatever.
Fred Johnson.
He works on their technique, man. So when his guys get in there, they do their job. They have backups. They get in there. You're going like, man, he did a good job in there. And he's as good as they get when they come. And the other thing about, you can see, and this is one of the key with coaches, the guy cares about his players.
Yeah.
And these guys know, hey, man, coach is looking out for my, my best. Even if I don't make it here, coach is going to help me make it somewhere else because he's teaching me the game and everything. And his guys play for him, man. And this is what, assistant coaches really are. They don't get the credit they deserve because the good ones are where you get championship teams at, where you got assistant coaches teaching players. They bond with the player. The guys are working hard for them. And that's what you got with him. He's an outstanding coach. And like I said, all the guys that they speak so highly of him. And you see the young offensive linemen, he has them working just like he really, come on, what he did with Mailata, with Jordan Mailata, never played any football, the way he developed him.
Look what he's doing with Micaiah Becton.
Yeah, you're right. Look at it. Come on. And he turns the guys loose. And the thing I love about him is it's not just technique. He teaches guys to whoop butt, man. Yeah. They go out, they be whooping butt and taking names, man. And he doesn't take away their aggressiveness, but he teaches them the proper technique. So when a guy goes in there, then he can turn it all loose, man. And I love the fact that he's got the combination there, which is, that aggressiveness, but in solid technique, smart. Like, now I'll tell you, one of the keys to this game, man, some of their offensive line, they were talking about, they were earlier in the season, and I knew that if they get out of the huddle, get up on the line of scrimmage, and they get the chance to call the play up there. A lot of times, let Jalen check into things because with their running game, that's one of the keys to their running game. You go ahead and jump in your set, man. They're gonna call a play against that front, and if he hits, if you got all these people on the line of scrimmage, and he hits a crease, you might well go ahead and go, hey, wave that one goodbye, man, because he's gone, and that's what they've been able to do. But and that's one of the things I don't think Jalen gets credit for is that he's done a great job with that, changing the play. And see, the big thing is you need him in there, though. See, in that Washington game, that was one of the halves where they were able to stop Saquon because the threat of the RPO and bootleg and all that is not there unless Jalen is there, And so Jalen, he presents that problem for a defense. Now you're going to take the chance. Would you rather have Jalen running down your sideline for 50 yards, or do you want Saquon the threat of taking it to the house? Now, either way, it's not something you want. See, so that puts pressure on the defense, and that's what is going to be one of the keys in this game. And you're going to see what happens pre-snap. How quickly do they get out of huddle? And I would like to see them go some no huddle, man. Go some no huddle and put pressure on Spags because Spags is coming off that corner, that slot. He loves a blitz off that slot, man. He sends the nickel.
Yeah, no, he does.
Yeah.
Garry, that leads me. I got a couple. This is what I think the Eagles need to do to beat the Chiefs here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start with one here. I think you got to get Barkley established right away because I want to see if Kansas City can stop that run game. I just don't believe because two things, Garry, in this game for me. I don't believe the Eagle defense can stop Mahomes. I want to see them because Kansas City's in the business of winning Super Bowls.
Correct.
The Eagles are not yet. So you've got the only people that have stopped him in Super Bowls have been Brady. I want to see the Eagles. But on the other hand, I don't think Kansas City can stop Barkley in that O-line because all year long, Garry, you and I know, man, when you have a team running the ball the way the Eagles do, that's like having one hand tied behind your back. And you're in a fight and you can't use both hands and they're beating the shit out of you and you're not ducking because there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So to me, getting Barkley going immediately and limiting Mahomes on possessions is going to be essential.
Yeah. Yeah. That's going to be a part of it. Even though I would tell you this, that even though, I think, Barkley is essential that they get him going, they're going to need Jalen to throw this ball if they're going to win this game. So I might want to take some shots on first down because, see, if you throw the ball on first down, it's going to give Jalen a chance to get going. I don't think you're going to have to worry about getting Barkley going. That's what that's what they do best. I think you got to get Jalen, because if he gets going, now they got a problem. Because Barkley's got a problem. They want to stack the box. They want to be yelling at guys to get off blocks. We can't let this guy, hey, you start pounding them, but you still do want to get Jalen going too, see? Because and the thing about it is, you could get him going where sometime on first down. You're giving the ball to Barkley, you're feeding him, he's the heart. But sometimes on first down, you give Jalen, it's a confidence play. They're going to be in a zone or something. They're trying to stop the run. He gets a quick out or something. He gets a completion. Now you got him involved, So, and then also with a running play where it's an RPO where he might keep one of them and run with the ball a little bit. Because if you get him in it, with him and Barkley flowing, the Chiefs have got their work cut out for them.
Oh, yeah.
Now, nobody's been able to stop them when you get both of them going. They got a problem. And the thing is, but that you want to get Barkley going. There's no doubt about it. But I would say you sprinkle in there a play or two for Jalen. You get him in there too. But Barkley, he's the reason for this whole. He's the core of your offense. But this is a good one. I mean, I have already been, writing some things down, like in talking about what I'm going to do to stop Kelce. They got
that's great. That's the next one here. I would put Vaughn on Kelce, and here's why. Kelce is the same equivalent of AJ being on the field, even if the ball doesn't go to him as a decoy, because as you know, Gary, AJ being out there, whether he's getting catches or not, you still got to put a body on that guy because that guy can beat you. And
That's
to
right.
me, I put my best player on that guy, and I want Hollywood Brown and I want Juju Smith-Schuster to beat me. If they're going to beat me in the passing game, I don't want Kelce to beat me because look what happened last week. Zach Ertz had 11 catches for 116 yards.
That's right. And because what they're thinking is Terry McLaurin. He was the guy they were taking away. Now, I agree with you. And that's why I really would mix it up on him. I'm not going to show them the same thing. I'm going to double him with the linebacker and the safety. I'm going to double him sometime with both of the backers. But I'm going to get physical with him. I would get up and have some of my D-line line up on him, take his head off. You know what I mean? Hey, we're not out here to make friends.
Oh, so you're going to put a body and try to wear him out there.
I'm going to try to wear him out some. I want to hit him, but I always got people on him. But at times, I want the D-line line right up on him and bust. Hey, put a shot on him, I want him to do that, because I don't want to show them the same thing. I want to show them different looks. But we can't be stupid like some of these other teams, though. Do you look at any tape or anything? How could you not be covering this guy?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? I mean, some of them I don't get, but a lot of times I'm gonna double team him. Different times I'm gonna double team him. Key situation, I'm going. One of you other guys gonna have to beat me, man. I'm not gonna let him beat us.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest players in Super Bowl history.
Now, you know something else he does. Like you're in a zone. What he will do is he'll fire off, let's say at the defensive end, like he's blocking down on him. Get kind of involved.
He checks and then releases.
Then he releases. The linebackers have backed out there. Now he'll catch him for 5 yards and get 7 yards on a gimme route. I mean, you're going like, man, you can't let him, keep doing that. You got to change some things up to take that away from him because, he plays smart football now and he knows the coverages. So he's smart, but he will try to get lost. Like even on, like, let's say a bootleg or anything, he's going to get lost in there and then he's coming out the other side. But they got to show him different looks because you can't just do the same thing against him because they will run a play for that, whatever you but most of the time, everybody's got to know where he's lining up at. You can't have him where on each play, you got to know where he is. Where's 87? 87, right, 87. You got to know where he's up. And the guys got to be talking, and they got to show different looks. I'm going to let Cooper DeJean cover him sometime.
Yeah.
Now, Cooper can run with him and everything, but he's going to try to get physical. That's where I want the defensive lineman, when he comes off, I tell him, don't worry about the pass rush. If you're lined up on Kelce, I'm not going to tell you try to break his neck, but I'm going to tell you try to break his neck.
But Garry, do you agree on this one here?
Yeah.
Do not let Mahomes extend plays with his legs. I mean, if you don't set the edges on this guy, look at the last 2 Super Bowls. He had a huge run against the Eagles, and last year he ran for 64 yards, almost all in the second half against San Francisco.
Yeah.
He seems, Garry, to pull that RPO out when he needs it most, not when he's in regular season games.
Now,
do you think that's essential?
Now, that's why defensive line, okay. I know everybody wants to be the hero, okay? Fellas, keep contained, okay? I know you want to be the hero to get 5 sacks and you're the player of the game and everything. If you're not going to keep contained, I'm going to get you out of there.
Yeah.
Okay? Keep contained on this guy. We don't want him running all over the place. We don't want him taking off. And we want to keep him inside the pocket, And the other thing, which is key points, is if you're a man-to-man, you guys in the secondary and the linebackers, you're in man-to-man, you got to play man-to-man until he crosses that line. When he crosses the line, then we're coming after him. But you got to realize this guy is sneaky. He will come up. He knows where the line of scrimmage is. He's coming up there, and you leave early, and your guy was wide open. Guess what? He's stopping there. He's going to throw it to him, So you got to play smart football. And he knows the rules just like you should know the rules. He's got to cross the line of scrimmage in order for, you to leave your guy and come up and make the tackle off. On zone, which they're going to probably try to play some zone, because of the way he scrambles and things. Zone, man, hey, he crosses that line, man, we got to get him, Not before that, though, because, he will stop right there and he will hit a guy, if you're standing near somebody. So you got to play smart against him because he's a smart football player.
Finally, Garry, do you have any problems with Kellen Moore filling out his coaching staff? And supposedly Clint Hurt may become his defensive coordinator in New Orleans now. And boy, I mean, here, they're talking about meeting right after that Monday, probably going to name him. How in the world could you not do this, Garry? It's human nature. My number one priority, obviously, I want a ring too. Everyone wants a ring. But when I'm going to get generational wealth like that, and the Saints have basically told everybody it's your gig, how are you not putting your coaching staff together? And doesn't that look at this right here, Garry? Watch this. Wait a minute, Garry. Hang on. I got to take a phone call. Our interview right now. Hang on.
Come on.
Yeah. Wait a minute. WIP. Yeah. Hey, Garry, hang on here. I'll be right here. Okay. Yeah. Right after the program, I'll do an interview. And hang on, Garry. Okay. Yeah. No problem. I don't care what it is, Garry.
Come on.
It's distracting.
It's distracting, and you really can't. I don't know what the league could do about it. I don't know what they could do about it. This happens every year. I mean, I don't want to accuse those Detroit coaches of doing anything, but look, you see what happened?
Yeah.
Both of those guys, before the game, they're already talking and everything now. You're going to tell me.
Look how fast Detroit filled those coordinator roles.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it. It's something that happens every year, And if you're in the bowl, chances are your guy, they're going after your guys. Now, this happened a couple of years ago with the Eagles,
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon, Sheikin.
Come on. Both of them, and a lot of people wasn't crazy about Jonathan Gannon, but saying, look, you didn't have a great Super Bowl, that fella, was your mind on the game or was your mind on that money you were getting ready to collect and the different coaches you were going to hire and stuff? You're sitting over there and, and that's the kind of thing. But you got human nature. I mean, how can a guy not think? But when he's sitting there looking at, let's say he's looking at $40-50 million guaranteed money.
How about this one? Frank Wright would end a lot of that conveyor belt right now. And I talked to Frank last week, Gary. And Frank told me that the Eagles had contacted him because you know how he's always looking for contingency plans. And Frank wouldn't elaborate, but they have contacted him. Now, they could have been asking him for other candidates because, remember, he's still getting David Tepper money. So Tepper's still paying him on that contract that he went down there at Carolina at $7 million a year. So he's in no hurry to do anything still. If you were able to work the same dynamic that Cliff Kingsbury's still being paid by the Bidwell money in Arizona. So they kind of offset that with what he's making as the OC in Washington. Wouldn't that be the perfect hire for the Eagles if you bring Frank back?
I think it would be a good. I mean, I thought he was a quality guy. That he knew what he was doing. He did a good job in that position, and I think he would do an outstanding job. So yeah, I could see them doing that. But we'll see. When that time comes. But it is not the. It's not the prettiest thing. When you got a guy, you fight, you get to the Super Bowl, and when you get there. You got this money comes up in here. Now, come on now. Now, a guy could tell me, oh, no, that doesn't bother me in the least. Listen.
Yeah, okay.
You're looking at 50 million or whatever, guaranteed money. And you go, I love these guys on the team, and I really want to.
Garry, $2 million a year to be a coordinator versus $10 million to be the head coach, 4 years guaranteed. You're telling me that I'm not going to look and go, I need the best coordinators I can possibly hire. And if I'm pushed against it, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to elevate some of the people that are in the room with me right now that helped me get to the Super Bowl, like Clint Hurt.
Yeah, you're right.
Those are going to be the kind of guys. Or Bobby King, the linebacker coach.
Well, see, the thing you're doing is you just, this happens all the time.
Yeah.
When you're a good team, this is one of the setbacks. This is one of the problems is that they're going to come grabbing your assistants. They're going like, hey, these guys are the best, that are available. So we're going after them,
Right on, man. Garry, Super Bowl 59.
Yeah, I'm going I'm heading out of here on Wednesday, man.
Oh, my. Hey, hey, I'll tell you what. Wait a minute now. Wait. Kansas City Chiefs and Eagle fans in New Orleans during Mardi Gras should be good.
Hey, I'll put my money on the Eagles fans.
Oh, me too, man. Hey, when it comes to knockouts, I got Eagle fan in that fight big time.
I'm putting all my money on the Eagles fans because they don't play, man.
No.
They don't play.
Hey, I got videos to prove it. Silio, if they fucking lose, I'm beating you down.
Hey, that's right. Hey, and they're basically gonna have you're gonna have a lot of quotes, some good quotes. They're gonna give you some good quotes because chances are they're gonna be using some real choice language.
Talking shit. Eagle fan likes to talk shit before he knocks you out. I like it.
Yeah, that's right.
Garry, fly safe, my friend. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You got it. Garry Cobb, who's going to be heading down to New Orleans himself there too. So we'll get him on Monday. It's always a great time, especially down in New Orleans. We appreciate everybody. Zander, if I missed some super chats during that time, please let's read them now because we always make sure everybody who sends supers, we get to them. After bye, Vic has been great at taking away the first reads by aggressive at the line of scrimmage and passing off through zones. They've done a great job with that. Remember something, though, too, Mad D. They play man coverage 3% of the time this past season. He may have to mix that up a little bit, especially if you're doubling down on Kelce. Any more, Zander, if we have any more supers, man. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit that like button. You guys have been really great, man. Give me a total on where we are in the likes, too. What we're going to do next, my top 40. My top 40 Eagles and Chiefs. Okay, for Super Bowl 59. Don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan. By the way, I think John Morgan, one of the greatest sports fans of all time, is going to join the program. He wants to talk some Super Bowl. I believe that's Wednesday, Zander, at 5:30, that he's going to join us. John Morgan could buy the Eagles. John Morgan could buy any football team. The guy's worth $4 billion. He's one of the richest guys in the world. I think he's number 1,114 richest men in the world. And John and Morgan, absolutely a gigantic sports fan. And his company has been built to protect you. One of the coolest things, I've known John for over 20 years, is the fact that they have built, him and Ultima, his wife, have built this company for over 20 years to defend families around the country. Morgan & Morgan is America's #1 injury law firm in America, with over $20 billion recovered for clients around the country. This is what they do. John has built this company with the thousands of lawyers to go out and make sure they defend families. Guy in Pennsylvania here, I told you the story already. A client was only offered $650,000 by an insurance company. Morgan & Morgan went, "Are you crazy, man? Not happening." That family was rewarded $26 million. In Florida, where the company was founded, there was a client that was offered $350,000 from an insurance company. John's folks went in there at Morgan & Morgan and recovered over $12 million for that respected family. Look, he knows life's hard, and everyone knows it. Some of the toughest decisions in life that you'll make have a lot to do with your family. This will be the easiest you've ever done. If you're ever injured, please check out my friends at Morgan & Morgan. The fee is free unless you win. For more information, go forthepeople.com/big sills or pound 529. That's FOR, thepeople.com/big sills or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sill sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
Ignite.